tuned into Sacred Erotic, Sacred Sexuality, and Ascension podcast with Gila Nehemia. Thank you for being here. I have been away for a bit because I needed that time to kind of regroup. But I have an exciting podcast today. And today is the 25th of January. So I would invite you to take 3 deep breaths with me as we share an intention, and after that intention, and you can say one for yourself as well, and then I will start the podcast. So take a deep breath, deep from your diaphragm all the way up to your upper chakras. We'll do 3 of them now. Calling in Holy Mother, Holy Father, our galactic brothers and sisters, the Pleiadian star system, calling in our planets, our connection to Mother Earth, Father Sky, our power animals, our ancestors, our higher self, God Source Universe, our archangels, all of our bodily cells, our connection to our heart, our third eye, and higher consciousness, our connection to each other, connecting in unity consciousness, and full liberation of any paradigms that hold us back into another realm. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Aho, and so it is. I'm just going to say Om 3 times before we open our eyes. You can chant it with me. Shanti, 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 Hari Om. Such exciting times. I've been feeling this deep, deep ending, and it was no accident that I started to listen to what's going on astrologically. And in the first 2 weeks of February, Pluto is in Capricorn. And this interacts with the North Node in Taurus. And it is also connected to the Pleiadian star system point. So just some details there, but I'm really just focusing on the energies right now because I have been feeling that this portal opened over the weekend, and I just have like, it's just like all of these soul contracts have ended, all of these karmic patterns have ended for me, for the collective. It's, whatever I feel for myself, I feel is also a collective feeling. And whether you're feeling like you want to end something or you're just seeing this breakthrough open, like it's been raining and then I see these breaks of sunlight. And, these things happen all the time, but I feel this real lifting. It's like my heart being lifted into the atmosphere and I am with it as well. It's like this full completion. And it's no accident that it happens. Uranus went direct. Mercury and Venus will be direct very soon. Venus is direct in just 4 days, and then Mercury following, and then the new moon in Aquarius. And, as I may have mentioned in earlier podcasts, or if you don't know, the divine feminine way is that in February is like the new year, February, March. So it is just an auspicious time overall for new beginnings, for really starting on our soul path and mission, and allowing anything that we thought may not happen for us to actually happen, in whatever format it needs to, whether it's your career, your mission, your purpose, your relationships, both intimate and familial and friends, like and work. It's all coming together now. And we're not clear exactly how, but I feel that we're all willing to do the work. We're all like opening up to the honesty of what that means. And it you may or not feel it on a conscious level, but it's definitely happening. And allowing that to happen for you is super, super powerful because, like, it's like we didn't see this coming, yet it just completely opened. It's like there you have an eclipse, and you're like, wait, what's going to happen with this eclipse? And then all these things just come out and you feel like you're a new person. Like you can't even go to what you were before. You can't even think those thoughts because it just isn't coming. It's like you know your worth, you know your vision, you know that it's happening, and even without effort, it just happens. Maybe there's some things you need to follow up on, maybe there's some things you need to do, but you're just like, I'm not going back there. No matter what, like I don't care. I'm not going back. I'm done. And it's not just saying I'm done and then like pretending and then, forcing your subconscious mind or like, you know, inviting your subconscious mind to believe this. It's like it's over. It's like there's been a death, and the death is of the old. The death is of the matrix. Even the fact that, just let's bring it into current events, right? The fact that COVID restrictions are gone in the UK, and I believe like in I don't know, like in Ireland, Scotland, those areas, as well as some states in the United States, and people are saying also, and it's definitely been lessened in Israel. I live in Israel, and like just long-term isolation is over for people who have COVID, and even just like the testing, everything is a lot less stringent. And I just feel this opening of freedom. I know that Australia is in the throes of it, but I am seeing that this is not going to go on for much longer, and we're all stepping into our freedom codes, our liberation codes, our abundance codes. It's like the light is now infusing with our bodily cells, our physical reality. It's no longer just a spiritual exercise or in dream state. It's actually coming into the earthly realm, into this mode of balance, into justice being served in all forms of that, into the truth being revealed. And that's what I wanted to focus on today. Is like how this portal is opening up to truth, into honesty, into deep vulnerability and openness of ourselves, of others, of our relationships, of what we're truly desiring and not giving up on, of endings, of beginnings, of cycles, of rebirth, of return, and having, justice being served not through legal means, not through man, but through the divine, through energetic portals. We cannot work through old matrices in terms of solving our problems. We are asked to move through this energetically, you know, believing, having faith, surrendering. All of those things are still present, though the pathway just seems much more viable, so much more attainable than ever before. Even if you don't know how, you're just like, it's happening. And it's just a certainty. It's just like, it's just done. And there's no convincing yourself anymore. There's no more longing. It's just like, okay, it's happening. I'm not sure when, how, whatever. I'm just in it for the long run. And just the bringing in of the soul families and the soul relationships and your connection to your own soul, and even in work, and even things that are in the material realm, like things are just shifting. People are more compassionate, and if you're not seeing it yet and you still feel like things aren't working out, really focus on what is working. What is happening for you? What what portal have you opened by just understanding that it can happen for you? Because I think that sometimes we look to the skies and the stars to say, okay, what's happening now? But in actuality, it's like going on in your own life with the decisions that you make, with the commitment to being safe and secure and loved with the divine, and not depending on earthly relationships to secure you, even your own body. It's like, I trust my body. I trust that what I'm doing is good for me. And if it isn't, show me the way. That clear communication that is always going on in your mind, in your third eye, in your psychic powers are all coming to light. And not meaning just to the light of the sun, it's like to the light of your consciousness. It's like this whole lifting of consciousness. I've been actually focusing a lot on, because of our anthology, and our anthology is going to be published soon, going through the channels. And it's like, it's I had been focusing on women, and it's still true. Women are the leaders. We are moving in the divine feminine way, both for men and women and any gender that you connect with. Though I am also seeing that many people, whether it's masculine energy or actual physical men, are stepping into their power, stepping into their wholeness, stepping into all that they are. And not just in my intimate relationships, everywhere. It's been going on for a while. There have been speakers on this for many, many years, but it's coming into my consciousness. It's coming through the people who I work with for this anthology, because we are a mix of men and women, and coming to the collective experience of what was and how we can transform. And those of us that are still feeling that it's not within our reach, or it's still at arm's length, we are here to work together to bridge that gap, because many of us have been sent down to this planet from the galactic realms, from the Pleiadian star seeds, to help each other, and not just fellow star seeds, but humanity and Mother Earth. We're all connected right now with this Pluto in Capricorn, the trine in Taurus. The connection to the Pleiadian star point. It's all aligned. It's like it makes sense. And even if you don't connect to that kind of astrology, it just makes sense. Actually, I was just telling my group members in my group program, like I'm by Western astrology, I'm a Sagittarius with moon in Aries and rising in Taurus. And I don't know, I was just like, wait, my in my natal chart, there's like not a lot of water, and I was like, that doesn't make sense. I'm so emotional, I'm so watery. I follow the moon, like the moon is connected to water. Wait, it doesn't make sense. So I had to go back to my Vedic roots, and actually, my star is, it's called Nakshatra, is in Revati, which is what my parents were going to call me. But instead, I was named Gita, which then turned into Gila when I converted to Judaism. And so, in any case, like I am a Scorpio, and my moon is in Pisces, and I think my ascending is in Aries. So that just really made sense to me. I finally was like, I'm going to accept that, because I feel like that is my truth. And the things do overlap. I still follow everything, but I was like, what really calls to me? What, you know, it, how do the outer workings work with the inner workings? How does it all mesh together? And maybe all of these things are just snippets of what we need to know for ourselves. It's this consistent personal development and unfolding of the self in our relationships, in our consciousness, in our heart space. How the walls are just melting. I can now feel like I can wear my heart on my sleeve and be balanced with my own masculine energies, like moving into complete balance, because that's what I'm called to do. And I feel so much stronger and rooted than ever before. It really feels like this, like, I don't know if a apocalypse is the right word. Um, Apocalypse, sorry, I knew I pronounced that incorrectly. So I don't know if apocalypse is the right word, but it feels like this, new dawn, new day, new life, a new chapter. If everything, it's all starting to make sense. Even when I question, like, what is the truth? And I don't expect anyone to tell me. I'm just in myself thinking, what is the truth? What is the truth of my existence? What is the truth of my journey? What is the truth of my mission? and I allow it to come through to me. And its clarity is like crystal. It's like we're in the crystalline grid and we are now a part of it. We're not moving towards it. We're not seeing it and trying to imagine ourselves in it. We are the crystalline grid. We are higher consciousness. We are truth. We are embodying it in our lives, in our relationships, in our everyday existence, in our bodily cells. We are regenerating so that we can live for extended amounts of time. We are opening up all the facets of herbal medicine to really take in its nutrients to guide us. I've been focusing on mushrooms lately and how, I use lion's mane and what other kind of mushrooms I can use, and all the ways of plant medicine to help me, because I know that that is my own wisdom. That's connecting to my own heart. And how can I activate that on a more powerful level? So it's just like it's true surging of the light, of the multidimensionality of who we are. And it's not just light in and of itself. The light is actually has a variety of different rays and waves and chroma. When you look at a light through a prism, you see all the colors. And that's exactly what I feel is happening to us. We're seeing our own light through different eyes. And it's just like, it's mind blowing. It's so mind blowing of how it's not just about manifestations happening quickly, it's about our whole life flashing. And it's like, that was a dream of what we had been living before. And now we're actually living the truth. So it's just really, really exciting times, and it's no accident that it falls in February in Aquarius because a new moon is in Aquarius. So the age of Aquarius is coined correctly, and though it's been decades since that song, since that movie Hair, like, it is meant to happen. And I feel like that is the destiny play here. It's just like it's meant to happen. Everything that you're desiring is meant to occur, and it's going to happen in the most amazing way possible. And, the players may or may not be the ones that you're thinking of, but it's no issue, in Hebrew it's like a lo mishane, like it doesn't matter because you're here to experience the most amazing life possible, heaven on earth. And those of us that feel like we're living a spiritual existence in an earthly body, you get to now connect to your higher self, without any any obstacles or, it's just like a clear passageway. I'm not going to say it's necessarily a direct passage. The path, the actual road may not be straight, but that's we live circular lives. We live spirals. We don't live in straight lines. There is sacred geometry, but that sacred geometry has curves and twists. Think about when you use a spirograph. Think about the lines that you can make with your body when you do yoga. It's just like I think about the classical dance that I used to dance, and it's like everything was about lines of about and circles and movement and the contortion of the body, and how can I bring in this energy? How can I bring in the collective to this thought form? How can I bring in the emotion? How can I connect to the emotion of the music, of the earth, of the song, of the body? It's just this full holistic experience now that's never been experienced before to on this level, even from past lifetimes, perhaps from the seed of our soul, we're now returning to the seed of our soul. And that just came through right now because I was hearing return and I was hearing seed and I was hearing okay, and these words I was hearing in various YouTube, things like that I'm listening to. But I feel like everything that we're consuming and ingesting and being influenced by is actually an opening of our own message, of our own um, consciousness, of our own vision, of our own heart, of our own body, of our own spirit. It's a real connection. It's always connecting us to spirit if that is the way that we are desiring to live our lives. So, again, it's just like it's the recurring message. What do you want? Where do you want to go? How high is the vision? Where is it taking you? Are you allowing yourself to completely let go and surrender all all stories to open up to the truth of your heart, the truth of life, the truth of existence that has been pondered on for millennia, but we get to actually live it, and we get to enjoy it. We get to have pleasure in it. Everything's coming together now. And, if you allow it to. So these next 2 weeks are going to be phenomenal. You may or may not see actual change, though I guarantee that change is coming because it's just a commitment to change. It's like whether you want it or not, you're going to be forced to do it because that is your destiny. And destiny meaning your soul's purpose, not just a conscious free will, which is also in play because everything is a conscious choice, but it's also the soul's choice. It's the heart's choice, and feeling into that because it's not a mental game. When you surrender, it's no longer a mental game. You surrender and you allow your mind and heart to connect to the energies above, below, within, around, everywhere. You become part of the crystalline grid and you are no longer feeling resistance because you surrendered it. So if you're still feeling any resistance, if you're still like sitting in bed, not able to get out and where am I going? That feeling of being lost has now been cleared. It's like the windshield wipers when we're going in the fog, right? We keep moving them in the car. I've been through it a few times here in Israel, and it's just like my windshield wipers keep moving, but I can't see. I just can't see. I'm like, how I don't even know what's in front of me, like if even 2 inches or 1 meter. I'm not sure, but I keep moving. Well, now the fog is going to dissipate completely, and you're just going to move in a much clearer, conscious, balanced way in everything that you do, and you're so supported by the energies at large, by God, by Holy Mother, Holy Father, you know, um, by your angels. You're going to see them with you. You may have power animals like my dog, my cats, it's like you're just going to see like brilliance after brilliance, synchrony after synchronicity, just like coming all together because that's what's meant to happen for you, for all of us. And some of us may have it a little bit earlier than others, but it's still happening for everybody. Because I believe this awakening is for all of humanity. And even those that are still clinging to the old matrix, old paradigms, they will be brought to in their own way. And I can't say exactly how, but I know that this is collective, this is conscious, this is multidimensional. This is a opening of everything that we've been desiring for years, because everything's collapsed. It's like the mountain or the this is what I was seeing recently. It's like the fragile walls of the dam have now been pushed forward through the water, and it's not just not the rushing water that has been in the dam, it's the water from deep within the earth that has been quelled and suppressed by a variety of forces. But now it's just like it's coming up. It's coming up from deep within ourselves. So it's not about, the light coming into us. It's up as us rising like the phoenix from deep within the earth. It's the watery, feminine, allowing itself to come forth in spewing spurts like hot water springs. It's like that deep. It's heat. It's healing. It's unstoppable. It's this energy that's just like, I'm here. I'm doing it. I'm a warrior. I'm brave. And this is for our brothers and sisters. This is for everyone. This is for anything that you consider is your gender. This is on a soul and spirit level. So I'm just excited to be here. I'm excited to come on today. I'm excited to share this newness with you. I want to honor all of the writers and all of the people that have ever been in my life to help me to even realize this point, because I feel like each and every word and story and person and relationship I ever had were all the building blocks to this point now. So it's a thankfulness for all of my challenges, a thankfulness to everyone that's listening, to everyone that's on my path, and everyone who's on the fringes of the path, or even the people who are I never ever meet. But we connect through these podcasts. We're in this together. And I know it sometimes can be lonely, and it can feel like, what am I doing? I'm so lost. I don't connect to anyone. But I feel like you're going to see a newness, a new energy happening in February and forward. It's just going to be like nothing you've ever experienced before. And it's not just like like, I'm telling you this and I don't believe it. Like, it's happening in my own life. I just really felt it over the weekend. Like, it's done. The cords have been collapsed. I am free. I'm so liberated. I have nothing from the past, and I don't even know what's happening in the future, but I know that it's going to be amazingly pleasurable, joyful, loving, and I'm not going to say that doesn't come without any challenges, but it's just a full lifting of what was. And it's we're not going back. We're just not going back. And I'm just so grateful to be living in this era, to have seen it, to be witness to it, to know that whatever I had from past lives that I left behind or decided to go within for centuries because I couldn't stomach living in a environment like that. I'm ready to open up to all that is and all that will be, and just really owning it all. So this is a demarcation of closing the old chapters, opening to the new in its fullness, releasing old patterns, releasing old soul contracts, and living our destined dreams, and leaving a legacy, and living heaven on earth, really in and of itself. It's here. It's here. It's already here. We are in the fifth dimension. If you follow the dimensions or just think about multidimensionality, it's just a full equality, liberation, and wholeness. So I just want to thank you for being on this path with me. I want to say that we have turned a huge corner. We want to thank Pluto for that. The planet of Scorpio, Capricorn, Taurus, Palladian star point, all of the galaxies, and the galaxies to come. We're going home, whenever that is, and we're going to find our homes here, really, real homes in our hearts, on this planet or other planets. We're already there. So thank you so much. Let's end with 3 deep breaths, and we'll say Om at the end. So, um, let's do that together now. Shanti, 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 Harihi Om. And just one last reminder, I didn't say it, so I just want to let you know that I will be doing a new moon activation for the new moon in Aquarius. It's on February 1st. And I will be updating this with the link as soon as that's ready. If you want to pre-order at 88 or after February 1st, it'll be 11/11. And all these ones, all these twos, actually the second is February 2nd, 2022. So that's just like a powerful, powerful numerological sign of balance, of newness, of equality, of all that I mentioned earlier in this podcast. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm excited to join with you all of our forces as we rise together in unity consciousness. Aho, and so it is. Namaste, Om Shanti Shalom.